Is this our interpreter case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do we know who this is? Sorry? This is Uno? Okay.
Good morning, Your Honor. This is Carlos Morales, State Certified Spanish Court Interpreter, already sworn in.
All right, good morning, Mr. Morales. We're here at this time with Tito Zunin. State your name, please.
Tito Sunir Roblero.
Tito Sunir Roblero.
Sí.
Mr. Zunin Roblero, you were arrested on a charge of resisting an officer without violence. Your bond was set at $500. The Office of the Public Defender is appointed to represent you in this case.
And he does have an immigration hold, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Your Honor, may the interpreter have the case number, please?
If I can find one. Yes, it's 20 MM 603.
Thank you.
And I'm told that's the only case we need you for.
So may the interpreter be excused?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Have a good week.
Come on, sir. Come, your house?
All right, what is your name, sir?
My name is Salvatore House. Oh, yes.
Okay. And are you waiving the reading of?
Sure, Your Honor. Yes.
Okay, I don't. All right, Mr. House, you arrested on 30 counts. Are you aware of what the charges are that you arrested for?
Only 25.
I'm sorry?
Only 25 of them, sir.
Actually, there are a total of 30 counts. There are 26 counts of the same charge and 4 counts of a transmission of the photograph.
Okay.
So your total bond is $30,000. The Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you in this case.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
And,
sir.
I'm sorry, can I ask, is that an extension? Because I was told that by a previous bondsman that my bond was actually $56,000. So is the correct amount $30,000?
That's what I'm seeing.
He has another case he's in on, Your Honor.
These are
Okay,
add-ons.
Yeah.
this is on the case that you're here today on. I'm told that you have another case with the,
Together, they total the 56,000.
the total is 66,000?
No, 56.
56,
With the both
okay.
of the cases
Between
together.
the two cases, the total is 56,000.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, state your name, sir.
Michael Allen Taylor,
Mr. Taylor, you arrested on for a city ordinance violation for committing a misdemeanor within the city limits of Orlando. You have a bond of $250.
excuse me,
He's got
guys.
3 other cases he's out on bond for, or out on some sort of release.
So, Judge, it appears that the And Marie Taylor, on behalf of the Office of the Public Defender, for the record, it appears that my office does have competency concerns. However, there's not been a finding by the court on the out on bond cases.
Okay.
So I would just ask the court to take no action to let us try and resolve those.
I'll do that. This time, it seems that there may be mental health issues. So, but I will leave the bond at $250 at this time. Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you, sir. Thank you.
You got a bond? Yes. Go to the desk, Mr. Joe. There it comes.
State your name, sir.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
What is your name?
Pierre Alex Harris.
Can you
That Paul
Can you
Grant?
try to speak a little closer to the mic?
Be close. Go ahead and talk.
What is your name again, sir?
Pierre Alex Harris, sir.
Your Honor, Paul Grant refused.
That's all right. Mr. Harris, you arrested for aggravated assault and battery.
Yes,
Bond
sir.
was set at 0.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to set bond in your case on the amount of $2,500 for the aggravated assault and $500 on the charge of battery. Your bond will be conditioned upon you not having any contact directly or indirectly with Edith Sylvain or with Alexandra Harris. You will not return to the area of 3516 West Robinson Street while on bond. You may do so on one occasion accompanied by a law enforcement officer to retrieve any clothing you may have at that address. You have a second charge of battery, and that will, I'll set bond amount of $500. It will be with the same conditions of release. The Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you in both of your cases, sir. Thank you.
Judge, could we just confirm, I have on my paper that he just speaks Creole.
Did you understand what I said, sir? Do you understand me?
Not really.
I'm sorry?
Yes,
You-
okay, I'm understand.
Did you understand what I said this morning?
Yeah, can you repeat again how much is the bond, please?
Yes. You have a bond, your bond totals $3,500.
Oh, thank you.
Okay,
Thank you so much.
thank you.
Okay.
Paul Grant? Yeah, I'm told Paul Grant refused to appear. Are you waiving, are you,
Can we just reset?
Address that I have on file, I'm not supposed to go back to.
All right.
The guy doesn't live there anymore. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
I'll reset him to Monday. And actually, if I could see that again, he is entitled to a bond being set. I'm going to go ahead and set the bond. As to Paul Grant, I will set bond in the amount of $2,500. It'll be conditioned upon supervision by pretrial release. Further conditioned upon him not having any contact directly or indirectly with Lona Diali Swabi, and not to return to the area of 351 Beacon Point Drive, although he may do so on one occasion accompanied by a law enforcement officer to retrieve clothing or personal possessions. The public defender's office is appointed.
So it's a bond and pretrial, Your Honor?
You're not resetting.
I'll go ahead and did you still want it reset?
Yes, Judge, just because with these domestic cases, I find that my clients are just so confused when they miss IA and they don't know about the no contact order.
We'll reset for Monday,
Thank you. As-
but keep it as I said.
Do you still want to put the bond and pretrial release?
Yes.
Hold in? Okay.
All right, what is your name, sir?
Tori Lamoth.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Lamoth. You were arrested on a charge of domestic battery by strangulation and battery.
Yes, sir.
Your bond was set at 0. And take a look here. Let's see. Yeah, this was the Xbox. I'm going to set your bond in the amount of $1,500 for the battery by strangulation, $100 for the battery. If you post bond, that will be conditioned upon supervision by pretrial release.
Yes, sir.
Until further order of the court, you will not have contact directly or indirectly with Lucien Michael Lamoth. You're going to have to find another place to stay, at least on a temporary basis. You will not return to the area of 5757 Bent Pine Drive, apartment 208. You may do so on one occasion accompanied by a law enforcement officer to retrieve clothing or personal possessions you need from that residence.
Excuse me, sir. The 5756 Bent Pine, that's my house, and the officer actually escorted Lucien Lamoth with his property off the premises yesterday.
Okay, well, if pretrial release verifies it, Mr.
I mean, we won't go to the house. We might not be able to verify that, Your Honor.
Okay.
Judge, can the order reflect that if the
Oh,
victim isn't living there?
Lord, you may return if Lucien Lamoth is not residing at that address.
Thank you.
That 57, yeah.
No, it's not one. The
Oh.
bond is 1,500.
Yes. Thank you. What is your name?
Giselle Nunez.
Okay, Ms. Nunez, you arrested for child abuse and battery. Your bond was set at 0. In state, unless I'm missing it, I don't see any, although certainly implied, I don't see any allegation in the affidavit with respect to the alleged child victim's age.
14. My daughter's 14.
You really don't have to say anything.
Well,
Oh, I thought he was asking. I'm sorry.
no, that's all right. I was about ready to find no probable cause as to that.
Adam Dew for the state, Your Honor. If you give me 24 hours, I can get a report that better reflects the victim's age.
All right. Ms. Nunez, I will be setting bond. Got no prior history. Bond will be set at this time in the amount of $1,000 for the child abuse, $500 for the battery. The bond will be conditioned upon you not having contact until further order of the court with Mia Estrada or with it'll be Mia Estrada. You will not possess or consume any alcoholic beverages. You will not go to any bars while on bond. We're going to recall the case tomorrow. The state has 24 hours to provide supplemental information regarding the age of the child. So If you haven't bonded out, if the court finds no probable cause as to that count tomorrow, be released as to, the total bond would be the $100 on the battery. Or, what did I say, $500 on the battery, thank you. All right, sorry,
You don't find PC, that's count one.
I don't find PC, I'm giving the state 24 hours to respond, but I'm gonna go ahead and still set the bond, so she can post bond if she wishes. Okay, what is your name, please? What is your name, please?
Christopher
I can't
Smith.
hear you. I'm sorry?
Christopher Smith.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Smith. Do we have Elisa Prophet? Is she?
Medical, Your Honor. She's down the corner.
That was medical.
What? We
It's
can't hear
medical.
you.
Medical.
Medical? Okay. As to Ms. Prophet, I do find probable cause based on the affidavit. I'm going to go ahead and set a bond at this time in the amount of $3,500 with a condition that she not have contact directly or indirectly with Todd Prophet and not return to the residence at the Lake Johns Motel, although she may do so one time accompanied by law enforcement to retrieve clothing or personal possessions. And do you want that recalled?
Yes, Your Honor.
We'll recall it on Monday then.
Thank you.
You don't find the TV.
Yes, PD's appointed.
Your Honor, be advised she's under respiratory precautions, so she.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
She's under respiratory precautions, so it's most likely she won't be coming to court probably anytime soon.
Fair enough. Well, we've set bond, but, okay.
Judge, if that's the case, we can just waive it and I'll make sure the right person is notified.
Okay, then we won't be restating. Thank you. All right, Mr. Smith, good morning. Ms. Smith, you arrested on a charge of aggravated battery. Your bond was set at $0. He has an open case, but was that,
That was actually entered in error, Your Honor. He was never served the summons on that case.
okay, all right. Mr. Smith, I'm going to set the bond, an aggravated battery in the amount of $3,500. It will be conditioned upon you not returning to the I guess, yeah, that's not much of an issue. There'll be no contact with Ebby Burnett, and the condition that you not possess any weapons or firearms. The public defender's office is appointed to represent you.
Judge, I don't think it matters for purposes of the bond, but I don't see probable cause for a domestic relationship.
Yeah, I don't think they charged it. Well, it says no bond. I don't.
It's written in the affidavit at the bottom and it's on our DV list, but I'm not sure why.
You know, the warrant says DV. But at this point, I've set bond, so.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Mr. Smith. All right, what is your name, please?
Adrian Harris.
Okay, Ms. Harris, you arrested on charges of battery and resisting an officer without violence. Your bond was set at $0 on the battery. All right, this because of the charge, you don't qualify for direct pretrial release. But I'll
She
set-
does, Your Honor.
Well, she qualifies for pretrial
Qualifies
release.
for
but
pretrial release, yes.
Under the law, the court has to set a bond. So you do not qualify for direct pretrial release based on the nature of the charge. So I'll set bonding amount of $100. It will be conditioned upon supervision by pretrial release as to the battery charge. She'll be released on pretrial release on the resisting charge. Ms. Harris, the bond and pretrial release will be conditioned upon you not having contact directly or indirectly with Elaine Taylor.
Yes, Your Honor.
And can you find another place to stay on a temporary basis?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Until further order of the court, you're not to return to 4662 Alhama Street. Actually, you don't live there, so. Where do you live, Ms. Taylor?
Miss
I'm sorry?
Harris,
Where do you live?
320 North Westmoreland.
Okay. All right, so it'll just be no contact with Adrian Harris. The public defender's office is appointed to represent you. Thank you. I mean, no contact with Ms. Taylor, I'm sorry. Thank you. All right, state your name.
Michael Pelletier.
Okay, do we have a witness here? Please so. Mr. Pelletier, you're arrested on a charge of battery. Your bond is presently set at $0. Well, we have a witness here, so. Ma'am, if you'll raise your right hand, do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you are about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Please tell us your name.
Jennifer Espinoza Pelletier.
Okay, Ms. Espinoza Pelletier, you are named as the alleged victim in this case, and the court is considering conditions of release. In doing so, I'm interested in input you may have. So let me ask you a couple of questions. First of all, do you wish to have contact with Michael Pelletier while this case is pending?
Yes.
Are you afraid of Mr. Pelletier?
No.
If anything like this were to happen in the future, would you contact law enforcement?
Yeah.
Okay. And you all live in Massachusetts?
Correct.
And when are you planning on returning?
Oh, tomorrow. We had to
Okay.
change our flight.
All right. All right. Any questions from either side?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, Mr. Pelletier, I'm going to set bond in your case amount of $100. It will be conditioned upon supervision by pretrial release. It'll be a condition that you not have any hostile contact with Jennifer Espinoza Pelletier. No pushing, no shoving, no fighting of any kind.
Okay.
The public defender's office is appointed to represent you.
Judge, I don't know if PTR can really supervise if he's in Massachusetts.
We can do it telephonically.
They generally do, at least in Osceola. All right, thank you, Mr. Pelletier. All right, state your name, sir.
Your Honor, my name is David Waring.
And I believe there's someone here in your case as well. Mr. Waring, you're arrested on a charge of battery. Your bond was set at $0. Ma'am, if you'll please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
State your name, please.
Tracy Waring.
Okay. And Ms. Waring, you were listed as the victim in this case. Do you wish to have contact with Mr. Waring at this time?
I'm on a limited basis. I'm here more for contact with my son.
Okay. Are you, have you been residing together prior to this?
Yes.
Okay. So if I understand correctly, you'd be asking that he have another place to stay on a temporary basis?
in between, when it comes to visitation, our son's only 2, and I don't want to be flipping him between houses, so I'd be willing to go remove myself so that he can stay there with him, is more of what I'm asking. I don't know if it's feasible or possible or crazy, but
It's possible, it may be a little crazy, but, so you have another place that you'd be staying?
occasionally. I mean, I don't have an apartment yet. I'm attempting to do that today, but
Okay, well, I can order no contact until further order of the court, and allow things to settle out a little bit, or I can order no hostile contact, but.
But you can't, I know, I'm sorry. So would no hostile contact mean that him and I could, like, pass off our son and kind of figure out our own?
No hostile contact just doesn't put any restrictions other than aggressive contact.
Okay.
So,
Yes, that would be fine. I don't want to, our son's very into his routine, and I don't want to deviate from that. We're already going through quite a bit, so I don't want to be flipping him between 2 or 3 different houses and having one parent, not one parent, being passed off with an extra person. It just doesn't seem fair to him.
okay. But you're wanting to find another place and not have him need to find another place?
Yes, I can do that.
Well, it's, usually I would not order the alleged victim to leave a residence that's jointly shared. I would order the person accused to leave that residence on a temporary basis. But if you're asking me to do otherwise, I won't restrict him from going back.
Okay.
So is that what you want?
Honestly, I don't know what I want. I don't know what the best solution is. I'm just trying to keep my son from.
All right. Mr. Warren, I'm going to, there's no priors. I'm going to set bond amount of $100 with a condition of supervision by pretrial release. I'm going to order that until further order of the court that you find another place to stay. You'll not be allowed to reside at the residence at 15535 Camp du Bois in Winter Garden. You may return on one occasion accompanied by a law enforcement officer to retrieve clothing or personal possessions you need from that residence. I will allow you to have non-hostile contact with Ms. Warren. There's no pushing, no shoving, no fighting, etc. The court that will be further addressing this case can change that and allow return, and very well might with a little more information. But at this time, I'm going to order no return by you other than as indicated. The public defender's office is appointed to represent you in this case. So, Ms. Warren, you can stay at the house right now.
Okay.
You'll need to find another place to stay on a temporary basis. You can have contact with them. You can arrange visitation for the child. If there's any hostile contact, then you need to notify the law enforcement. Once you've had a chance to think things through, if you want a different arrangement, I would suggest you contact the state attorney's office. You contact them, they have victim advocates that can talk to you and help you understand what your rights are in the process.
Okay.
It also might be, you may want to contact one of the domestic violence groups who can tell you what resources are available to you. But at this time, until further order of court, that's.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. All right, state your name, please.
Eliot Baptiste.
All right, Mr. Did you wish to waive the reading of the,
No, Your Honor.
okay. Mr. Baptiste, you were arrested on charge of sexual battery on a person 18 years of age or older and robbery. Your bond was set at 0. I do find that you are entitled to a bond being set. I'm going to set bond as to count 1 in the amount of $25,000. Count 2 will be set in the amount of $5,000. The bonds will be conditioned upon you not having any contact directly or indirectly with Tiffany Diaz.
Your Honor, is there any way you can lower that by any chance? 'Cause
I'm not
it's
going to do that today, Mr. Baptiste. The court that will be handling your case going forward may very well lower it. You can talk to your attorney about getting a bond hearing set to reduce that amount of bond, but I'm not going to set it lower than that today.
Yes, Honor. Yes, Your
Thank
Honor.
you. State your name, sir.
Keith Blackman.
All right, Mr. Blackman, you have 2 cases. You arrested for petty theft with 2 or more prior convictions. You have a bond of $1,000 in that case. You're also arrested for petty theft as a third or subsequent offense. In a second case, you have a bond of $1,000 in that case as well. The Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you in both cases.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, sir. Kaley Bostic. State your name, please. I'm sorry? All right, Ms. Bostic, you arrested for possession of a controlled substance without a prescription, 2 counts, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Your bond total is $1,250 as to those counts. You are presently out on bond in case 20 CF 5756 for essentially the same charges: possession of a controlled substance without a prescription and possession of drug paraphernalia. Based on this arrest, I'm going to revoke that bond. You'll be held without bond pending further order of the court in that case. There's also another case with burglary of a conveyance and grand theft, but I don't see that that's, it just says open case. No, she's out on bond in that case. So 20 CF 2318. I guess I'll take no action. Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you, ma'am. Thank you. Your name, please, sir?
Lawrence Boyd.
All right, Mr. Boyd, you arrested for fleeing or attempted to elude a law enforcement officer, excuse me, with siren and lights activated. Your bond set at 0 on that charge, and driving while license revoked as a third or subsequent offender. Your bond is $2,500 in that charge. I'm going to set bond on the fleeing or attempting to elude. I'll set bond in the amount of $5,000 on the fleeing or attempting to elude. The Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you, sir.
Keep count 2 at 2,500?
I'm sorry?
Are you keeping count 2 at
Yeah,
2,500?
count 2 will remain as set. So your total bond is $7,500, sir. Thank you. Moranci Calixte, I'm sorry?
Does he have an out-of-county warrant as well?
I saw a reference to that, and they're looking for it, but I don't see any people. All right, go ahead and state your name, please.
Jeffrey Carr.
Okay. Mr. Carr, you were arrested for driving while license revoked as a third or subsequent offender. You have a bond of $2,500. Appears you're out on bond on a charge of petty theft. Due to the nature of the charges, I'm not going to take action on that bond at this time.
Thank you, Your Honor.
The Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you, sir. So you have a bond of $2,500. You can post it if you wish. Thank you. Do we know where, what's going on with Mr. Calixte?
What's the name, Your Honor?
Moranci Calixte?
I don't have that name on our docket.
Do you have a booking number for him, Your Honor? Your jail number?
2001-5873.
They bonded.
Okay, excellent. All right, sir, what is your name?
My name is Timothy Carroll, sir.
All right. Morning, Mr. Carroll. Mr. Carroll, you arrested for possession of a controlled substance with intent to sell or deliver. The bond was set at $15,000. Possession of fentanyl, the bond is $1,000. Possession of drug paraphernalia, the bond is $100. We're going to reduce the possession with intent to sell or deliver to $7,500. The Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you, sir.
Okay, sir.
Thank
Is there
you.
any way I can get a bond that I could afford to pay by chance? Or maybe a
It's
bond?
not going to happen, it's not going to happen today. You can talk to your assistant public defender, but based on the prior history and the nature of the charges, I'm not going to do this any further this morning.
Okay. So how much is it total?
All right, your name, please?
Rita Collins.
Okay, good morning, Ms. Collins.
Morning.
Ms. Collins, you were arrested on a warrant
Yes, sir.
for making a false and fraudulent insurance claim. You have a bond of $2,500.
It's
The
on
Public
my-
Defender's Office is appointed to represent you.
Judge, I have a PC challenge on this one. Reading through the actual statute, it looks like an insurance claim is required. And in the affidavit, I don't see any evidence of an insurance claim being made. The only statement would have been perhaps an oral statement over the phone. However, it wasn't accompanied by any actual formal claim that I think the statute requires. Additionally, toward the end of the affidavit, when Ms. Collins appears to have been asked on the phone if she's making a claim, and then when she's interviewed, she says, no, I don't, I'm going to leave it. So I don't think based on the facts presented that this is exactly the scenario that the statute is looking to criminalize.
It may be. I'm going to, at this time, defer to the judge who issued the warrant's determination of probable cause. And you'll need to just file a motion for bond.
May I say something? Your Honor, I get liver treatments. Would you recommend pretrial for me so I can get my treatment? And I have a little job.
Okay. You don't qualify for pretrial release, I'm told, if I recall correctly.
She'd have to be interviewed. We don't interview the
Right.
warrants, Your Honor, so
So you'll
We
need to
don't
talk to your
qualify them.
attorney, who can try to schedule an expedited bond hearing for you.
Judge, it sounds like, if I understand the policy right, PTR just doesn't interview when
Right,
they
I
come in.
understand
Do you think the court could order the bond or the PTR if she qualifies? That way,
I'll tell you what I'll do is, I'll reset the case to tomorrow and state you can be prepared to argue on the probable cause issue. I'll consider the probable cause issue at that time. And if she qualifies for pretrial release, I'll consider an argument.
thank you.
do you want to order bond or PTR, Your Honor, so that we can interview her? So that we,
Yeah, okay, I'll order, well, yeah, I'll order bond or pretrial release.
You still want to reset it?
If that's the case, we'll go ahead and reset it in the event that she doesn't qualify. We can
Okay.
still hear the argument on probable cause.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So we'll see you tomorrow unless you are released earlier. Thank you.
I won't be.
All right, state your name, please.
Jeremiah Elliott, sir.
Okay, do we have, is Geno Davis not going to be brought over?
He's medical, Your Honor.
Okay. I have not
He's
ordered. Okay.
quarantined.
Oh, so you're saying he's not being brought over?
Yes, Your Honor, for quarantine.
Okay. Now, Geno Davis,
Jeremiah.
oh, I'm sorry, we'll get to you in just a minute, sir. In Geno Davis's case, I'm going to leave the bond at 0. And we're not going to bring him back. The Public Defender's Office is appointed.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm sorry.
All right. Yes, Mr. Eliot.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Eliot, you arrested for possession of MDMA, ecstasy. Your bond was set at $1,500. You are presently out on bond for battery on a person 65 years of age or older in case 19 CF 19.
That was over with. I didn't. That was. She said she dropped that.
He's on conditional release, Your Honor.
I'm sorry?
He's on conditional release for it. For
Oh, he's on conditional release, so
yeah,
he's got-
13842.
All right, well, this time, then, I'm just going to leave the bond at $1,500 under the new charge. Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you, sir. Thank you.
So no action on both out on bond?
No
Your
action
Honor?
on the other.
Okay.
Can I have a question?
Yes, sir.
I get paid on the 27th.
I'm sorry?
I get paid on the 27th. Is there a way I could possibly get like a pre-trial release or something, and then I can come back and I can pay the money? I really appreciate it. 'Cause I take care of my business. I've been out here,
Yeah.
taking care of myself, just and I'll really take care of it, and I'll pay all the money. I'll pay the money back. I just, I just need to get out so I can take care of my
Right,
business.
I understand what you're saying, but I'm not going to reduce the bond today. So you can talk to your attorney about that.
Say that again, sir.
So I'm not going to reduce your bond today. It will remain as set. You can talk to your lawyer about the possibility of modifying the bond amount or the conditions of release. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, if you'll tell us your name, please.
My name is Samira Jackson.
Okay.
Your Honor, Stephen Gonzalez is going to be medical respiratory precautions.
All right.
And Judge, I have probable cause challenges as to Mr. Gonzalez.
And that's based on a warrant.
Oh, it's a warrant case?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'd withdraw that then.
But based on the nature of the charges, I will reduce the bonds to $1,000 each as to the burglary counts. Leave it at, leave it at $500 on the petty theft and appoint the Public Defender's Office.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And what about Leonardo Gorday?
I don't have that name on the docket, Your Honor.
Do you have the booking number?
2001-5874.
They bonded.
Okay, excellent. And what about Harriel Moses, or
Yeah.
Moses Harriel?
They're medical, Your Honor, in a quarantine cell.
Okay, well, let's do Mr. Moses. I'll leave the bond at $1,000 at this time. Appoint the Public Defender's Office.
Are you waiving it?
Are you wish to waive his appearance? Or?
Yes, Your Honor, given the quarantine status.
Thank you. All right, now we have Ms. Jackson. Appreciate your patience, ma'am. State your name, please.
My name is Samira Jackson.
Ms. Jackson, you arrested on charge of robbery and battery, with one prior battery.
Your Honor, I was wrongfully accused of robbery.
That may well be the case.
Huh?
That may well be the case. We're not here today to determine whether you're guilty or not. The court is just making a finding of probable cause based on the allegations in the arrest affidavit.
Your Honor, I understand that. I have a grandmother that's sick that I take care of, and I'm not able to make the bail. So I don't understand why she would tell a lie on me, because it's gonna be hard for me to take care of on my own.
Well, I don't know, obviously there's no way for me to know whether this is a false accusation or an accurate accusation. But based on the nature of the accusation and the number of prior offenses, I'm going to leave the bond as set today. It totals $5,150. The Office of the Public Defender is appointed to represent you, so you can talk to your attorney. Your attorney may well be able to get the bond set lower or modified.
Is there no problem? There's no way that I can go on for PTR, please?
No,
The charge doesn't qualify, Your
all right,
Honor.
you're not
for
going
the
to qualify for
administrative order.
pretrial release.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so I will try to get, you will try to help me get a bond reduced?
I'm not going to do that, but your lawyer can do that for you.
Okay, so I have to contact them?
Well, a lawyer from the Public Defender's Office will be in touch with you shortly. I don't know how long that generally takes.
Okay.
Hopefully within a week, ma'am. It depends if you're in quarantine or not. The best way would be to write a letter explaining your situation, okay?
Okay.
With your bond information.
Okay. Okay.
Not to the judge, but to your attorney.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Your name, please? What is your name, sir?
Rian Johnson.
I'm sorry?
Rian Johnson.
Ryan Johnson? Okay.
Yes.
Mr. Johnson, you arrested for grand theft of a motor vehicle. Your bond is set at $3,000 on that count. And attaching a tag not assigned, your bond is set at $1,000 on that count. The Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you. All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, your name, sir?
Samuel Mozaleski.
All right, Mr. Modzaleski, you have two matters. You arrested for possession of a controlled substance with intent to sell or deliver. Your bond was set at $15,000. Possession of fentanyl, your bond was set at $1,000. Possession of drug paraphernalia, your bond was set at $500. I'm going to reduce the possession with intent to sell or deliver to $7,500. The other bonds will remain as set. You're also arrested on a violation of probation. This is trying to see what, trying to see what county it's out of.
Osceola, Your Honor.
Okay. Out of Osceola, you're being held without bond on the violation of probation. The Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you in both of your cases, sir. Thank you. All right, good morning. Your name, please?
Your Honor, Patton bonded.
I'm sorry?
The next person should be Cornelius Patton. They bonded.
Did you hear the name?
Patton. Patton?
Patton. Cornelius Patton.
Patton, okay.
Bonded.
Oh, thank you. Okay, what about Eliseo Marino?
the name, Your Honor?
Eliseo Marino.
He's not on our docket.
Do you have the booking number?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
2001 5865.
They bonded.
Okay, excellent. Okay, your name, please?
Travis Richardson.
All right, Mr. Richardson, you arrested for introduction of contraband into county detention facility. You have a bond of $1,000 on that charge. Possession of cannabis with a weapon. The bond was corrected to 0 on that charge. This possession of more than 20 grams with a weapon. I'll set bond in the amount of $5,000 on that charge. You are arrested for resisting an officer without violence. You have a bond of $500 and possession of less than 20 grams of cannabis. You have a bond of $100 on that charge. So 5,006. Your total bond is $6,600. The public defender's office is appointed to represent you, sir. Thank you. All right, your name, please?
Kevin Camacho.
Mr. Camacho, you arrested on charge? I'm sorry? Okay. Appreciate your patience, Mr. Melendez.
Of course.
Okay, Mr. Camacho, I don't know if you can see him, but Mr. Carlos Melendez is here on your behalf. You arrested on charge of attempted felony murder. The bond was set at 0. I find that you are entitled to a bond being set. State any input or?
Your Honor, that we would ask the no bond be set, but in.
I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time hearing you, Mr.
We ask that no bond be set, but if that is not the case, then we ask that this bond be set at the statutorily appropriate levels.
Judge, I would ask the court to, if you let me inquire, my client just recently lost his employment. Doesn't have that much money. Parents have put together some money. He actually helped out, paying my fee with his own money. So I would ask the court to consider those things, and if we have to inquire, because the statutory amount would be almost a no bond for my client.
Well, I'm going to set the bond today in the amount of $25,000, and it will be conditioned upon Mr. Camacho not having any contact directly or indirectly with Julian Medina. And you can file a further motion if you feel.
Will do,
appropriate.
Judge.
All right. So your bond set at $25,000, Mr. Camacho. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. That's
Thank
allowed.
you.
My be excused?
Yes, have a
It's
good
good
day.
seeing you, sir.
Good to see you. All right, good afternoon, or morning, state your name.
Leroy Christopher Roy IV.
Okay. Mr. Royal, you were arrested on charge of
On a
criminal
warrant.
mischief. I'm sorry? Yes, you were arrested on a warrant for criminal mischief with damage of more than $1,000. Your bond on that warrant is set at $2,000. Now, I note he's out on bond in another case. Do we know if he is released on that bond on or before July 6th of 2020?
Yes, Your Honor. The offense happened back in January of 2019.
Right, but looks like he bonded out on a failure to appear. So that may have been more recent.
We go by the offense date, Your Honor. I'm not sure. I'd have to look it up.
Judge, from the PD does represent him on the 2019 case. It appears from the file that there are competency concerns. There is no court finding at this point, but based on that, I would ask the court to take no action.
I'm afraid with those charges, I am going to, Mr. Royal, revoke the bond and case 19 CF 419, or you be held without bond on that charge pending further order of the court. If there are competency concerns, that can be raised with the trial judge.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir.
So the bond vote?
Right, you have no bond right now, sir.
All right.
Your name, sir?
Mark Spence.
Mr. Spence, you're arrested for possession of synthetic cannabinoids. You have a bond of $1,000. Looks like you're out on cognizance on another charge of the same exact thing. I will revoke the ROR, or you be held without bond in case 20 CF 2396. I'll leave the bond at $1,000 in the new charge. Public Defender's Office is appointed. Thank you, sir. Your name, please?
Ismael Torres.
All right, Ms. Torres, you arrested on charge of battery on a law enforcement officer. Your bond is $2,500 on that charge. Resisting an officer with violence, you have a bond of $150. Aggravated assault, the deadly weapon, the bond is $150. Trespass after warning, the bond is $100. Battery on a person 65 years of age or older, I didn't see any allegation of the alleged victim's age in the affidavit, so your bond will be set at $100 on that charge. You're also arrested for violation of probation on 2 Seminole County cases, or 2 counts of Seminole County burglary of a structure. Your bond is set at 0 on the violation of probation. The Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, come on. Come on, in.
You know, I think some of them married to the file, so.
Oh, no, I just want to check.
All right, what is your name, please?
My name is Brian. Laurio.
Okay. Mr. Laurio, you were arrested on a charge. Did you wish to waive the reading or not?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Valora, you arrested on a warrant for violation, for sexual battery and lewd or lascivious battery. Your bond was set at 0. I'm going to set bond in the amount of $25,000 for the sexual battery, $15,000 for the lewd or lascivious battery. The bond will be conditioned upon you not having any contact directly or indirectly with the named victim in this case. You will not have any intentional contact with any child under the age of 18 without that child's parent or guardian being present. The Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you.
Are you taking any action on that?
No, it just shows as an open case, so I don't know. I'm not going to take any action.
Yeah, due to the offense dates, it was an error. There should have been a.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Valoria. All right, state your name, please.
Melissa Wolford.
Ms. Wolford, you're arrested on a charge of aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. Your bond is $3,500. It does appear that you have a hold out of Broward County also, so you may consider that before deciding whether to post bond. The Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you.
I can't hear you.
And just so she's aware that hold was removed, Your Honor, they won't extradite her.
Okay. I'm told Broward County is not coming to get you. So if you post bond, you'll be released.
Would there be any ways, Your Honor, that I could get a lower bond so I can get out?
That's possible. That's not going to happen this morning. That is possible. You can talk to your attorney about that.
Oh, okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right. Your name, please. Your name, sir?
Kevin Lopez.
Okay. Before we get to you, as to Damian Bryan, did he post bond?
Not on our docket, Your Honor.
Can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
Not on our docket.
Do you have the booking number?
2001-5870.
They bonded.
All right. Thank you. All right. Mr. Lopez, good morning, sir. Good morning. You were arrested on a charge of driving with a suspended license.
Yes.
Your bond was set at $500. You are out on bond in case 20 CF 7366. Based on the nature of this charge, I'm not going to take action on that bond at this time. The Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you, sir. Thank you.
I get bond?
Your name, sir?
Carlos Lozada.
All right, Mr. Lozada, you arrested for driving while under the influence resulting in property damage and driving without a valid driver's license. Your bond is $1,000 on the DUI with property damage, $100 on the driving without a license. The Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you. Thank you, sir. Your name, sir?
Grant Belcher, sir.
Okay, before we get to you, we have Ralphie Quiles Piazzo.
His behavior, Your Honor.
All right. Last to Mr. Quiles Piazzo. He's got open cases, but these are some cases for failure to appear, so I'll leave the bonds as said. I won't take action on the new cases. I'll appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent him. Did you wish to waive his presence?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
You have 2 cases.
I'm sorry?
You do both cases?
Yes. Okay, I'm sorry, you're Mr. Belcher?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Belcher, you're arrested on a charge of petty theft. You have a bond of $500. You're out on bond for grand theft and possession of firearm by a convicted felon in case 19 CF 7713. Based on this arrest, the bond in that case will be revoked. You'll be held without bond pending further order of the court. The Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you, sir. Thank you.
So it was revoked?
All right, your name, sir?
I'm sorry, hold on. Your Honor, the next one, Frankie Bowling, he refused.
Yes. I'm sorry, you refused?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Bowling will leave the bond of $500. Nope, he refused to appear.
The last case, did you take any action on the other one, on Mr. Belcher?
Yes, I revoked his bond.
Oh, okay.
As to,
You're appointing the PD and the waiving?
yes. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Belcher, I did not take action.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, I was thinking of,
You revoked the bond in Belcher, Your Honor. Are you taking no action?
Right, because these were just cases for failure to appear.
Oh, no, no, that's not Belcher. Belcher
Okay,
was a.
let me see the file then. I'm confused by what we did. Yes, I did take action on Belcher. I revoked his bond, ordered him a bond. Yes, Mr. Bowling just had the,
His refusal or behavior?
Mr.
Refusal for
Bowling was
Bowling.
refusal, so I've appointed
Okay.
PD, bond will remain as set.
Can we see which county he has a hold from?
Volusia for Mr. Bowling?
Yes. Do you know if there's a bond on it?
Not on the VOP out of county.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Garrett?
Mr. Garrett refused to attend, Your Honor.
All right, Various Garrett was arrested for possession of cannabis, less than 20 grams. His bond is $250. Remain at that. He's also arrested for violation of probation. His bond remain at 0 on that. The Public Defender's Office has appointed both cases. We'll note that he refused to join us this morning. All right, good morning, sir. State your name.
Jeremy Abbott Glasgow.
All right. Mr. Glasgow, you arrested on a charge of trespass in a structure. You have a bond of $250. Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you.
Your Honor, I believe the state was willing to extend an adjudication credit time served offer.
Okay. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right, have you read over a plea form?
I have in the past, Your Honor.
All right, raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
State your name, sir.
Jeremy Abbott Glasgow.
Mr. Glasgow, you arrested for trespass in a structure that is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 60 days in the county jail, 6 months probation, and/or a fine of up to $500. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I'm told that you wish to resolve this case by entering a plea of guilty this morning. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right. Are you currently under the influence of medication or other drugs or alcohol?
No, sir.
Are you thinking clearly?
Yes, sir.
Has any person coerced or forced you to enter this plea?
No, sir.
Your recommendation is that the court judge you guilty and sentence you to the time that you've already served. I would also impose court costs, which would total $273. Is that still the amount? Okay. Is that your understanding of the agreement?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone promised you anything else?
No, sir.
You've had a chance to, well, all right. You do have the right to be represented throughout this matter by an attorney. The assistant public defender has been appointed in this case. You have the right to enter or to have a jury trial in this case to determine whether the state can prove that you committed this crime. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. Yes.
If you chose to go to trial, at your trial, you would be presumed to be innocent. You could not be found guilty unless a jury unanimously found the state had proven your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You would have the right to be represented throughout your trial by your attorney. You would have the right to confront and cross-examine witnesses who testified against you. You would have the right to present witnesses and evidence in your defense. You have the right to have the court order any witnesses you have to be present at the trial. You also have the right at trial to testify yourself, or you can choose not to testify. If you decided not to testify, you have the right to have the jury instructed they could not consider the fact that you chose not to testify as evidence of guilt. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
By entering a plea of guilty, you're giving up all those rights, and there won't be a trial in your case. You're also giving up your right to appeal any matters relating to the case other than the jurisdiction of this court to hear your case and the legality of the sentence imposed. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. You understand if you're not a United States citizen, entering the plea will subject you to deportation.
Yes, sir.
Very well. Mr. Glasgow, I find that you're alert and intelligent, that you understand the nature of the charge against you, the penalties you're facing, and the rights you're giving up by entering the plea. And I find that your decision to enter the plea has been freely and voluntarily made, and that you've had the opportunity to have advice from a competent lawyer. I find there's a factual basis upon which a plea can be accepted based on your arrest affidavit. I'll accept the plea of guilty. Is there anything further you want to say before sentence is imposed?
No, sir.
All right. You'll be judged guilty of trespass as charged. Sentenced to 2 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for the 2 days that you've served. You're ordered to pay court costs of $273. Given the present circumstance, I'll go ahead and reduce that to judgment. You have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence was just entered. If you want to appeal and cannot afford to hire a lawyer, I will appoint one to represent you. If you do not file an appeal in writing within 30 days, you waive your right to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right. This is your name, sir?
Anthony Maples.
Okay, Ms. Maples, you arrested on a charge of trespass on school grounds. Your bond is $250. The public defender's office is appointed to represent you.
I can't hear what he's saying.
Your Honor, he said he can't hear you.
Okay. Mr. Maples, you arrested on a charge of trespass on school grounds. Your bond is set at $250. The public defender's office is appointed to represent you in this case, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. That's all. Thank you. All right. Good morning. What is your name?
Sean Smithers.
Okay. Ms. Smithers, you were arrested for trespass in a structure. Your bond is set at $250. The public defender's office is appointed to represent you. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
And as to Kirk Snyder, did he bond?
Kirk Snyder refused to attend.
All right. As Kirk Snyder, I do find probable cause based on the arrest affidavit. We'll note he failed to appear. We'll leave the bond as set. Public defender's office is appointed. And what about Don Tevius Smith?
He also refused.
I'm sorry?
He refused.
Okay. As to Don Tevius Smith, we'll note he also refused to appear. The court finds probable cause. Bond remains at $500. I will revoke the ROR in case 20 MM 5210. I'm not going to set a zero bond. I'll set bond at $1,000. And appoint the public defender's office. All
The
right.
bond stayed at $250.
$250 on the new one, $1,000 on the other one. What is your name, sir?
Willie Young.
Yes. Oh, 500 on the new one, 1,000 on the old one. Thank you. I'm sorry? Your name, sir?
Willie Young.
Okay. Mr. Young, you arrested for resisting an officer without violence and providing false identification to a law enforcement officer. Your bond is set at $500 as to each of those counts. The public defender's office is appointed to represent you. Thank you, sir.
Are there any holes?
It looks like holes for Marion County. Your name, please, sir? What is your name, sir?
Anthony Davis.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, Robin Cutler, she's on the quarantine dorm.
Okay, as to Rodney Cutler, this is out of bond warrant, out of county warrant, his bond will remain at $0. Appoint the public defender's office to represent him. There's actually 2 out of county warrants.
No, just one.
Okay, just 2 copies of it, okay. So the public defender's office is appointed, the bond will remain at $0. So Did you want to waive his presence here? I guess you'll have to.
Sorry, that's for Cutler?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor, based on the quarantine.
Okay, thank you. And what about Anthony Davis?
Anthony Davis. I'm Anthony. I'll say it one time.
Oh, I'm sorry. Your name is Anthony Davis?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. All right, I'm sorry, Mr. Davis. Mr. Davis, you were arrested on a warrant out of Polk County
Yes, sir.
for failure to appear on a charge of improper exhibition of a firearm or dangerous weapon. You have a bond at this time of $0. I'm going to appoint the office of the public defender to represent you.
Yes, sir.
Now, someone from that office will be in touch with you. They will contact Polk County to see if there's a possibility to modify the bond or conditions of release, or possibly resolve your case entirely while you're here in the Orange County Jail. So an attorney from the Public Defender's Office will be in touch with you shortly.
All right.
Thank you, sir. All right, sir, your name, please?
Jameson Laguerre.
All right, Mr. Laguerre, you arrested on looks like 25. You're arrested on warrants out of, what county is this?
Yes,
Polk?
sir.
Okay. It's for 7 counts of burglary of a conveyance, each with a bond of $1,000. 11 counts of criminal mischief with bonds of $250 each. 2 counts of petty theft with bonds of $250. And 1 count of petty theft with a bond, 5 counts of petty theft with bonds of $500. So the bonds are going to mean, as said at this time, I'll appoint the office of the public defender to represent you. Right now, that office works with their counterparts in other counties. They'll see if there's a possibility of resolving your case while you're here in the Orange County Jail. But if you do postpone, you'll be released pending your next court date in Polk County.
Your Honor.
Thank you.
Your Honor, may I ask for a bond reduction, please, or reduce?
You can ask for that, but that will not happen until the authorities in Polk County are given a chance to provide their input.
Okay.
So your attorney can ask, and the state attorney's office will contact the state attorney's office there. The judge there will provide information to the judge here. So it may happen, but it won't happen today.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. All right, your name, please?
Raúl Márquez.
I'm sorry?
Raúl Márquez.
Oh, Raul Marcus, okay. I'm sorry, I went right past you. All right, Mr. Marcus, you arrested on a warrant out of Dade County. You have a bond of $5,000. The Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you. Again, since they aren't transporting inmates very freely between the counties, your attorney here can attempt to see if it's possible to reduce your bond, or perhaps possible to resolve your case while you're here in Orange County Jail. But your bond is $5,000.
I don't have any money, so it means that I'm going to be here for the rest of my life, or for how long they're going to transfer?
Well, you can talk to your attorney about that. It won't be the rest of your life, but it can be an extended period of time.
But there is a limited amount of time that I can stay here?
There's no specific limit on the amount of time. You can stay
It could be 1 day, it could be 1 year, any time?
Again, you can talk to your attorney about all that. Thank you. State your name, please.
Stephen Schneider.
All right. Mr. Schneider, you were arrested on a warrant out of Osceola County for violation of probation on charge of felony battery. Your bond is set at 0. I don't know that this would violate his bond on the other Osceola case.
So no action on that out on bond?
I'm sorry?
No action on that?
Yeah, I'm not going to take
Arlington?
action on that because I don't know the violation of probation actually violated any of the terms of his bond. So, but nonetheless, your bond is set at 0. Mr. Snyder, the public defender's office is appointed to represent you. Your attorney can see about whether it's possible to resolve your Osceola County case here in Orange County. So,
No
thank
bond,
you.
no bond at all.
No bond, sir. No.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor, the next person, Clapp, he's mental
Yes.
health.
Okay. So, see, this was reset once already. I just wish, are you wanting this reset again?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. I'll go ahead and reset for Monday. And bond remain as set at this time. All right. Morning, sir. Tell us your name, please.
Kadeem Davis, sir.
I'm sorry?
Kadeem Davis.
Kadeem Davis? Okay. Yes, sir. Mr. Davis, you arrested on a warrant for violation of probation on a charge of trespass. Also, for failure to appear on a charge of driving a suspended license. Your bond is $500 on the failure to appear. On the BOP, based on the charge and the alleged violations, I'm going to set bond amount of $1,000. The public defender's office is appointed to represent you in both cases.
On the VOP, you said?
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
So you can bond out, but make sure you show up in court if you do.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. What happened with Aqualius Battle?
Battle refused.
Miss Battle refused, okay. Miss Battle was arrested, violation of probation has a bond of $3,000. The public defender's office is appointed. Since he refused, I'm not going to reset him.
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you waive? You're gonna waive them, right?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes.
All right, state your name, please.
Melvin Freeman.
All right. Mr. Freeman, you arrested on a warrant for violation of probation on charges of battery and resisting an officer without violence. Your bond was set at 0. The public defender's office is appointed to represent you. Thank you, sir. Your name, please? What is your name, sir?
Darren Lewis Mayweather, sir.
Okay. Mr. Mayweather, you arrested for violation of probation on a charge of carrying a concealed firearm. Your bond is set at 0. The public defender's office is appointed to represent you, sir. All right, thank you. I think that's all we have. Not too bad. Annabelle Pino Morales. You'll come forward?
And for the record, Judge Alicia Smith on behalf of the Public Defender's Office.
All right, good morning, sir. Please tell us your name.
Is this an interpreter case, Your Honor?
Yes.
Okay. ¿Cómo se llama usted? ¿Cómo se llama usted? Aníbal Pino Morales.
Mr. Morales, you were arrested on charge of operating a vehicle without valid registration and operating a motorcycle without a valid license.
Señor Pino Morales, usted ha sido arrestado por manejar un vehículo sin tener la matrícula o la registración apropiada o sin tenerlo registrado y también manejar una motocicleta sin el permiso o la licencia para hacerlo.
Your bond was set at $500 on each count. I'm going to release you on pretrial release.
Judge, the state doesn't object to ROR in this case, so we ask for ROR.
Judge, Mr. Pino has no criminal history.
All right. I'll release you on recognizance.
Muy bien, entonces se le va a permitir bajo libertad de palabra.
The Office of the Public Defender is appointed to represent you.
Se han nombrado los defensores públicos para que lo representen.
You need to make sure that you appear in court at the next scheduled date. I don't have that at this time.
Debe asegurarse de presentarse o comparecer a la próxima vista, aunque en este momento no se lo puedo decir cuándo es porque no la
I
tengo.
would suggest that early next week you call the Public Defender's Office.
Le sugiero que a principio de la semana entrante usted se comunique con los defensores públicos. Que
You can
llamen a la
also
oficina.
contact the clerk and find out what your next court date is. They will mail it to the address they have on file for you.
Además, usted también puede llamar a la Secretaría de Tribunal para preguntarles cuándo es que tendrá la próxima vista y le van a enviar eso por escrito a la dirección que esté registrado en su expediente aquí en el tribunal.
It's important that you appear for all court dates, otherwise you could wind up back in jail.
Y es muy importante que usted se presente a todas las vistas porque si de no ser así podría terminar nuevamente en la cárcel.
Thank you, sir.
Gracias.
Does anyone else require the services of the Spanish language interpreter? If so, if you please come forward.
Si alguien más necesita los servicios de un intérprete en español, póngase de pie, acérquese al micrófono. I don't know, Your Honor, if this last case had a case number.
I don't have the... No, it does not, according to the clerk. All right, we're through with Mr. Pino Morales. Do we have any other cases involving the interpreter? If so, if you'd have him come forward, please.
Si necesita intérprete en español, puede acercarse al micrófono. Siéntese, señor Morales. Si alguien necesita un intérprete en español, acérquese al micrófono. Venga al atril.
Can you hear us?
Can Your Honor hear the interpreter?
I can hear you, not well, but I can hear you. But can you hear us in Osceola?
I can hear him, Judge.
Okay, well, we need Mr. Pino Morales to have a seat, and we need the next person who needs the interpreter to come forward, please.
Señor Pino Morales, tome asiento. Siéntese. Ya terminó.
So does anyone else need the interpreter?
Your Honor, the interpreter has made two announcements that if anyone needs an interpreter to come up to the microphone, and no one has stepped up, so.
Well, I understand that, but they told me there were two cases, so I was waiting. Are you telling me no one else needs the interpreter?
No, we
in
have
Osceola?
one more, Judge.
Well, if you'd ask the person to come forward, we'll address it.
Okay, Rosa Fuentes. Here. Judge, he's at the podium.
All right, and what is your name, sir?
¿Cómo se llama usted?
What is your name, sir?
¿Cómo se llama usted?
I'm sorry, I didn't get that. Did you get that, Mr. Morales?
I'm sorry. He's speaking right at the same time the interpreter is
I
speaking.
know.
Si usted necesita un intérprete en español, deje que el intérprete le interprete. ¿Cómo se llama usted?
Félix Rosa.
Félix Rosa.
Okay. All right, Mr. Rosa, you were arrested on a charge of trespass in a structure.
Señor Rosa, usted fue arrestado por entrada ilícita a una estructura.
Your bond was set at $500.
Se le había asignado una fianza de $500.
I'm going to release you on pretrial release in this case.
Yo voy a permitir que usted salga bajo el Departamento de Libertad Provisional.
It
The
will be
state, I'm sorry, Judge, the state
I'm not
wasn't.
going to agree to ROR. It's going to be conditioned upon you not returning to the 7-Eleven store at 6070 West Earlo Bronson Memorial Highway.
Una de las condiciones de su libertad bajo el Departamento de Libertad Provisional es que le está prohibido regresar al 7-Eleven que está en el 6070 Earlo Bronson Memorial Highway.
The Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you.
Y se le ha nombrado a los defensores públicos para que lo representen.
Thank you.
Gracias, es todo.
Anyone else need the interpreter?
That's it, Judge.
Are you telling me no?
Anybody gonna say no?
¿Hay alguien más que necesite intérprete? Acérquese al micrófono.
I don't know why this is so complicated. There is no one else?
No, Judge.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Morales.
You're welcome, Your Honor. Does Your Honor want the interpreter to stay connected until orange, or
No,
you want
we'll call back. It'll be a while.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right, Dion Stevenson. Morning, sir. State your name.
Good morning, Your Honor.
I'm sorry?
I said good morning.
Good morning. What is your name, sir?
Dion Stevenson.
All right, Mr. Stevenson, you're arrested for 2 counts of burglary of a conveyance. And in your case, as well as all the other cases that we'll be calling, I do find probable cause to believe you committed the offense for which you've been arrested based on the arrest affidavit.
Judge, could I make a PC argument as to the attempted burglary?
Yes, ma'am. And in each one of your cases, I will be appointing the Office of the Public Defender to represent you unless you tell me that you are represented by a private attorney. Ms. Smith, you may proceed.
Yes, Judge. I know that it's an attempted burglary. However, defense would argue that there'd be no probable cause to determine the intent. So I would say at best it would be a trespass as to the property. So that would be my probable cause argument as to the 2 counts for attempted burglary.
Okay. I understand the argument, but I'm going to find PC on the attempted burglary. Now, the pretrial release indicated there was other legal constraint. What is that?
Judge, give me a moment.
Okay.
He has a failed to appear warrant, Judge, out of Ohio for criminal trespass.
All right.
And he has extensive history out of Ohio and New York. 41 priors out of Ohio, 20 out of New York. He's got extensive history out of Florida. He was just adjudicated out 2020 for burglary of an unoccupied dwelling, March of this year. Grand theft, resisting without trespass, felony petty theft, resisting officer, false name to Leo, petty
All right.
theft, grand theft.
All right. Thank you. I'm going to leave the bonds as said at this time. Again, the Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir. You may be seated. Andy Cherizard, your bond is $3,500 as to each count. Andy Cherizard.
I'm sorry.
We have
Judge,
Andy
what was-
Cherizard there? Andy Cherizard. Come on
He's
up when
coming
your
up,
name is
Judge.
called, folks.
Hello, how you doing, Judge?
I'm doing well. Please tell us your name, sir.
My name is Andy Cherizard.
All right, Mr. Cherizard, you arrested on a warrant for violation of probation. Your bond is set at 0. The public defender's office is appointed to represent you. Thank you, sir. Angel Concepcion. State your name, please.
Concepcion.
Ms. Concepcion, you arrested on charges of battery and providing false name or identification by an arrestee. Your bond was set at 0 on the battery and $500 on the providing false name. You're also arrested for violation of probation, and you have 0 bond on the violation of probation. Now, you are entitled to bond being set on the battery charge. What prior history do we have other than the probation case?
Judge, he has, it looks like robbery out in Miami-Dade. It looks like he was released from prison in February of this year.
Right,
He
that's
is
the
on
that's the violation of probation.
Yeah. he's
Does he
on-
have any prior history of note other than that case?
Burglary,
Has there been?
robbery,
Okay.
possession of cannabis, tampering with evidence, battery, resisting with violence, resisting without, possession of burglary tools. Extensive,
All right.
Judge, from stemming from 1997 all the way up to 2008.
All right, Mr. Concepcion, I'm going to set bond in the amount of $1,000 on the charge of battery. Of course, you're still being held without bond on the violation of probation. If you do post bond, it will be a condition of your bond that you not have contact directly or indirectly with Bianca Luz Palacio, and you will not return to within 1,000 feet of any residence where Ms. Luz Palacio is residing, nor within 1,000 feet of any location in which she is employed. The Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you in both your cases.
Is the bond stated at 500 on
Sorry.
count 2, Judge?
I'm sorry?
Is it stated at 500 on count 2 for the false name?
Yes, sir. All right, thank you, Mr. Concepcion. Tiffany Goff.
Judge, I'm sorry, what was that name?
Tiffany Goff.
Sir, Judge, we're doing all the males first.
All right, that's fine. Antoine Neal. State your name, please. What is your name, sir?
Antoine Neal.
Ms. Neal, you're arrested for violation of pretrial release conditions in a domestic violence case. Your bond was set at 0. I'm going to set bond in the amount of $1,000. It will be conditioned upon you not having any contact directly or indirectly with Jillian Suzanne McMurray. You will not return to the area of the Super 8 Motel at 5875 West Earl Bronson Memorial Highway. I'm not going to take action on your other case at this time, but if there is any further violation of the conditions, you will be in jail without bond until that case is resolved. The Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you, sir. Thank you. Emmett Ortner.
Emmett Orr.
State your name, please.
Emmett Ordner.
Okay, Mr. Ortner, you were arrested on a warrant for criminal mischief with damage of $1,000 or more. Your bond was set at $5,000. I see he meets criteria for pretrial release, but without further information, I'm not going to grant that.
Would the court consider reducing the bond?
No, I don't have enough information, quite frankly, to do that. I don't know what judge this is in front of. I would be willing to do a bond hearing early next week, Ms. Smith, if you want to set that up.
Okay.
Mr. Ortner, your bond is set at $5,000. The public defender's office is appointed to represent you.
Judge, one of the conditions of that warrant is no return to the scene.
Correct. All conditions will remain as set.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Kenneth Pardavani.
Good morning, sir.
State your name, sir.
Kenneth Pardavani, sir.
Mr. Pardavani, you arrested for a violation of a no contact order in a criminal case. Your bond was set at $0. I will be setting bond in the amount of $1,000 on the new case. It will be conditioned upon no contact directly or indirectly with Diva Pardavani. Based on this new arrest, I will revoke your bond in case 20 CF 1902. You'll be held without bond pending further order of Judge Wooten in that case. The public defender's office is appointed to represent you, sir.
Judge, I'm so sorry. I apologize.
Yes.
Are you revoking the bond in the 20 CF 1902?
Correct. Thank you, sir. Josue Ramos Cajigas.
I am so sorry, Judge.
Josue Ramos Cajigas.
He bonded, Judge?
Very good. Thank you. Daniel Rivera.
Daniel Rivera.
Good morning.
State your name, please.
Daniel Rivera.
Mr. Rivera, you arrested in two cases. You're arrested for resisting an officer without violence. You have a bond of $500 on that charge. You're arrested for fleeing or attempting to elude a law enforcement officer with disregard for safety of other persons. Your bond is set at $0 at this time. Reckless driving, you have a bond of $500. Driving with a suspended license as a second or subsequent offender, you have a bond of $500. And driving without valid registration, your bond is $500. I'm going to set bond on the fleeing or attempting to elude in the amount of $2,500. The other bonds will remain as set. The public defender's office is appointed to represent you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Christopher Campbell.
We'll waive the reading of the charges, Judge.
Christopher Campbell.
One. Christopher Campbell. Okay.
I think he's standing next to you. State your name, sir.
Christopher Campbell.
All right, Mr. Campbell, you've been arrested. Your attorney has waived the reading of the charge in your case. I do find that you are entitled to a bond being set. I'm going to set bond in the amount of $15,000. It will be conditioned upon you having no contact directly or indirectly with Caden Hanskins. You will not return to the area of 3424 5th Street in St. Cloud, Florida. You will not have intentional contact with any child under the age of 18. The Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you. Thank you, sir.
Judge, my apologies. What's the bond amount?
$15,000, 1-5.
Thank you.
Thank you.